The Ingham family are in a world of trouble financially. Chris Ingham has pulled the wool over his family's eyes for such a long time, and finally it's all coming to fruition. Everybody's hopes and dreams are coming to fruition. Chris's is coming crashing down amongst everything that he ever held dear. His livelihood, his everything is going to be ending very soon. Worst of all, it seems Sarah Ingham has no clue what's going on, and this is why it's so fun to watch, I feel. Now, to prove just how little Sarah does actually know about this situation, on her TikTok recently, somebody commented this: but they have more money now than they did back then, so it makes sense that Esme got more for her birthday, right? And somebody replies, well, they're in a huge amount of debt. They actually are in huge debt. I think they actually have very little. So Sarah, in her ultimate wisdom, had to weigh in with her thoughts on that, because we're all deluded, obviously. Sarah says, comments like this clearly come from people who have zero idea how businesses work. So what is she talking about? So a few months ago we discussed this brilliant piece of information that was released, and that was that the Inghams were in liquidation. Well, the company, the Ingham Family Limited, was in liquidation, and Chris, he's run up one or two debts, owing the bounce back loan, which is a COVID loan. And this is really frustrating with people, right? Because the COVID loan was supposed to help out businesses who had to basically shut down throughout COVID, except the Inghams didn't. COVID didn't affect them. They carried on as normal, and yet they took out illegally a £30,000 COVID loan, and they never paid it back at all. So that's what they owe there. The next one down the list is the £91,000 to HMRC. And all this is huge. There's like a total of £137,000. This is why the business has gone into liquidation. Now, Sarah tries to tell us all that, it's just a normal form of business. Businesses go into liquidation all the time. They just wanted to close the business down. Well, that may be true, but this is a forced closure of the business, a forced liquidation. It's a creditor's voluntary liquidation, which means that it's forced because the creditors are forcing the situation, not that the business, the owners, are forcing the closure. It's a different type of thing. And Sarah is either so uneducated about it, or she knows and she's just lying to everybody. I feel like she just doesn't know, right? Chris has told her one thing and she doesn't have a clue. That's what I feel about the situation. Now, if we take away the business aspect, because that's one side of it, they may or may not have to pay that money back long term. I don't know. It depends what the state. I feel like I'm in the United States now. The depends what the government decide or whatever, right? But if you take that away and then look at their personal finances, it's the personal finances which add to the picture, right? And Sarah is very, oh my god, yeah, the business just closed down, it's what we do, it's what thousands of businesses do every day. But if you look at the personal finances of the Inghams, that's where it gets really, really interesting. Remember a few months ago we covered the CCJs that the Inghams have. This one here is for Sarah Ingham. It's of £1,240, Mrs. Sarah Ingham, and that's how much she owes to somebody, and it's gone to a CCJ. Now, Sarah at the time fobbed this one off, right? She said that, oh, it was an old debt that caught up with her from when she was in her 20s and she owed somebody and they kept moving house and somehow the debt got lost and things like that. And she just said some crap, which we all know is a load of crap, which is definitely not true. Whether or not that's, just an excuse she's been fed by Chris, I don't know. It's her debt, isn't it? She should know where it is or what it's from. But to get to a CCJ stage is quite extreme. Now, just to clarify, if you don't know what a CCJ is, it means a county court judgment, and basically it's when a debt gets to such a level that the person or the company that you owe the money to take you to court, right? And then you don't pay it, and then you get this county court judgment. Now, it takes a lot of steps to get one of these things, right? I've personally had a mountain of debt in my lifetime, and I've never ever had a CCJ. In fact, I've never had anything go to court, because at the end of the day, you can stop these things, you can sort things out with the creditors and stuff like that. But to get it to that stage, it means that she's actively ignored it and she's just put her head in the sand, basically. But they could pay that off. Apparently they've got the money, right? But getting a CCJ means that you're not going to get credit for hell or high water. You're not going to get any credit at all, because you're not trustworthy. It's like the ultimate in credit failings, right? So basically, bear that in mind. Now, that is Sarah's. To her credit, that's the only one on her list, right? Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Chris. So this was the first CCJ on Chris's list, £267. See, that doesn't to me sound like something you just sort of say, oh, can't be arsed paying that. It's not worth the hassle getting a CCJ for that amount. Number 2 on his list is £765. Is a little bit more, isn't it? But it just doesn't seem to be enough, really, to make to fuck up your credit, right? They have this sort of money to pay, so just pay it. It's just not worth it, right? But that's Chris Ingham. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't get any better as the time goes on. He keeps racking them up. Number 3 on his list is £310. And again, it's a nothingness. It's like a drop in the ocean for him. It's a ridiculous amount of money just to be fucking up your credit. All these mean that they're not likely to get credit ever again. Right, never ever again. Unfortunately, it still doesn't get any better, because number 4 on his list, that's £282. Again, it's what I would call a nominal amount. Some people might struggle to pay these, right? But not Chris and Sarah. They have bucket loads of money. Apparently, Chris earns 10k a day. Number 5 on his list is £286. Now, this is the last one that we knew about. There's a lot of money there. Well, not a lot of money, but it's a reasonable amount. But recently, it's come out, Chris has acquired a 6th CCJ. That's right, a 6th one, and this one's for £3,000. £3,000? What the hell? And that was only like last month. That was just like a couple of weeks ago. So as you can see, it's not stopping. It's an absolute tirade. Is that a tirade? Is that the right word? A torrent? It's a tidal wave of debts coming and coming and coming. They're continuously coming. £3,000 is a lot of money, right? Which goes to show that they owe so much money to so many different people. It's absolutely insane. So what does this mean for the Inghams and their future? It basically means they're fucked, because you can You can say about the business, right? We all know why the business has been closed down and liquidated. It's because of the money that they owe. Whether or not they end up having to pay that back is debatable. I don't know if they will. They really should. And it's, it's government debts that they owe to for their business, right? Quite often government debts can get chased, even if it's through a limited company. They have different laws because it's a government, right? But whether or not they will chase them for the money, I don't know. But even that aside, they have 6. Well, Sarah has 1 CCJ. Chris has 6. 6. Even having 1 will stop you getting credit, but he's got 6. He's never getting credit again. Never. So they can't sell the house that they're in right now. Okay, the UK house. They can't sell it because they won't get another mortgage on another house. Ever. Right? They'll never ever get another mortgage. There you go. So they can't sell the house. And the housing situation in Dubai, they pay a lot of money in rent up front, and it's dead money. They're wasting their money over there. I don't understand why they're doing that, because it's such a waste. It's dead money, and they're not going to be able to buy a house unless it's outright, and they don't have that sort of money to be paying outright. They are basically fucked. I'm trying to think of how they're going to get around this, but I can't see a way around it, because they live off credit. Every single thing that they buy is on credit, and they're not going to get any more credit. They're not going to get any more credit cards. So they have to take care of the credit cards that they have right now, because if they fuck those up, then they are really in for, well, they're not going to get any more, and everything else that they buy is on credit. This is why how they afford things right now. Their channel is bringing in such low views that it's impossible that their current lifestyle is being funded by their channel. Okay, so how are they managing to travel the world? That's the $1 million question, isn't it? It's more than likely due to them moving, or Chris moving money here, there, and everywhere. Like he'll pay off a credit card and then max it out again, or he'll sell one of his vehicles to fund the current trip. But doing it this way is not sustainable, because with every vehicle that he buys, it's with every vehicle that he buys, it is going to depreciate in value, so he's not going to sell it for the amount that he bought it for. So every time he does that, he's just losing money every single time, and he's not going to be able to buy vehicles on credit anymore, and things like that. So he's basically fucked. And the thing is, he's told his family a bunch of lies. I don't know if Sarah realizes the extent of the problems. I mean, she may do now, because we've been putting it out there about these CCJs. Chris could hide those from her, but she must know what that's going to do to her credit, or their credit. How's she expecting all this to be funded going forward? It's impossible. And I know they have TikTok, and they have Facebook, and they have Instagram, but I can't see that they're bringing in enough money. And if they were, then running up these debts and not paying them is criminal for them, because why would you want to fuck up your credit, like yeah, Why would you want to fuck it up if you can afford to pay it off? And that's the question. They can't. So Sarah, what you need to do, you need to sit Chris down and ask him the real questions, because I know firsthand exactly what a person like Chris is telling you, right? I know what it's like. I know what he's saying. I know how manipulative he's being. I know that he is making out, that it's all the haters, and the haters are making shit up, and the screenshots are not real, and everything. Look it up yourself. It's there in public, right? And also, given that one of the CCJs is yours, you really should have access to. You could pay it off. You can actually pay it off. The CCJs do say they are unsatisfied. So yeah, meaning that they haven't been paid off. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this situation in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to or really engaged in the downfall of the Ingham family? Let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more about this situation as it rumbles on, because I can't wait.